So after a summer break, it's me again, Markus Römer, with this new GMP Detox session. And I learned a new expression called data literacy, and I really like it. And just that it's not forgotten that we still sometimes talk about data integrity, especially if we implement new computerized systems or you do digitalization projects or whatever you do. And I shared my screen just that we focus again on data, information, and knowledge. And I found this very nice picture showing data with the 0 and the 1, like you basically know it from computers. Then if you process data, you reach the level of information. Some people think that you will find in Google, for example, knowledge, but it just shows you information unsorted. You don't know where the data sources are and so on. And then you see here a nice picture with a different capacity and for sure also your experience. And this comes up to a level of knowledge. And as you know, ICH Q9, Q10 especially requires as an enabler for a pharmaceutical quality system, an enabler called knowledge management. And this goes far beyond of saying we have a training system or something like this, but it's at the end, it's a decision-making process or quality decisions done, for example, by the qualified person of the head of QA, for example. And this is quite a very nice flow of that data, information, and knowledge. There's also some strategies and concept papers on that. You will find different publications on that. I found also this very funny picture, data, information, knowledge, insight, wisdom, and conspiracy theory. That's very funny, but it shows you how data and information is interacting to get knowledge. And with some experience, it can also become to wisdom level, a guru level, however. The word that I learned is quite very interesting, data literacy. Basically, it's very often used literacy in schooling, that children learn how to read and write and maybe also to calculate and so on. But data literacy, ability to read, understand, create, and communicate data as information. So that's quite very interesting, and maybe that should be one of the overall top goals for any data integrity project, that you reach that level. Let's call it data literacy. What is quite very helpful, and I think you cannot say that often enough, is from the PICS, a guideline document. And I also show you here the members. You know, if you would talk about the world GMP, you see here the world map and all the PICS members. And this is quite very good, right? You see that most of the countries are a PICS member. Unfortunately, not China and not India. They produce quite a lot. Even Russia is not part of that, of the PICS. And the PICS have written a wonderful document. One second, I need to share that with you. Is the PICS PI041, which is final since 2021. So before you start to buy different information, you might find also that very useful. Maybe not really the guidance for industry of the US FDA for data integrity contains 21 questions and answers, basically, or the MHR document. I really do not like it, really, about data integrity. The PICS document is quite very good. So, for example, if you would search for some details like critical process parameters, then you see how that interacts with data. Because first of all, we should need to talk about what is our GMP relevant or critical or applicable data. And I also share with you a presentation given by the US FDA. Why not? Quite very good source. if we talk about GMP data that we know, we talk about CPPs, critical process parameters, CQAs, critical quality attributes, and CMAs, critical material attributes, which are all coming from the submission, the authorization, the quality target product profile, for example. So in this presentation, you find also some cool information about how to find that out. What I also want to show you is, if we think about data integrity projects or the analysis of processes and data vulnerability gap assessments, however you call it, this is pretty cool. The FDA is also showing a simplified process flow diagram. You see the materials, the manufacturing process. There could also be one column showing not only the process flow diagram, so the material flow, also the data flow, but just we keep it like it is in the moment. So you would have different blending steps, step 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You have fixed mixing time and mixing speed, for example, which must be recorded and should be part of the batch production record or something like this, for sure. But you also see it here that it is a fixed value. So it's not a quality by design process. Let's call it a quality by testing process, a traditional classical one. And if you do things like this, always keep in mind the process flows. Process first. I think that's a good credo in doing it. And for example, if we would have a look on the blender meshing here now, and we would ask ourselves, does this system, this meshing, need to have an audit trail? What you see is that mixing time, mixing speed, let's call it critical process parameters, these are fixed. So the European definition of an audit trail would record the first change of mixing time and mixing speed in one of these 6 process steps, for example. The question is, does the system needs to have an audit trail? So these are the interesting questions. If you think the first change of the mixing time by the operator, basically the operator is not allowed to change it. So if this would be changed for whatever reason, I would see it as a deviation. So does this system need to have an audit trail? No, simply no. We can even discuss and say yes, but again, always focus on your data literacy. What kind of data do you have? Do you have the process flow diagrams? Do you have data flow diagrams? Do not limit yourself on looking just on systems only. Try to think like you would do it in validation. Think outside the box, outside of the system. What happens? Where is it used? How it is used? Is it clear to everybody? And do we have a written process flow diagram, version controlled, approved by QA? And in the next level, do we have a data flow diagram? So very simple. So that was today a little bit talking about data literacy. I like that. I will use that now more often. Thanks to LinkedIn and to Monica that I had the chance to learn that. So just to give you a bigger view on that, maybe. Because the data integrity projects, they should not be forgotten now. And sometimes I see companies, they just go to the next topic and talk about AI or something like this. So we still keep that in mind and think about your data literacy and your process flows, data flows. And again, the PICS, PI041, it's quite a very good document. Read it, try to implement it or to apply it. Take out whatever you need. It's not legally binding, but it's quite a very good roadmap. So Currently, we have a poll running in LinkedIn about the next sessions. They will come next week. Summer break is over. I hope you had a great summer holidays, and see you soon. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.